Hey, what's up everybody? Hammer Metal Reviews here once again. Today we're doing another edition in my series where I count down my favorite songs by one of my favorite bands. I did a poll for this one to see who you would most want to see me talk about, and the results of the poll were very close, but the winner was Deicide. So I'm going to be running through my top 15 favorite Deicide songs today. On the note of the vote, it was extremely close between Deicide and Woods of Ypres. I think Deicide only won by like 2 votes. So for my next edition in this series, I will be doing Woods of Ypres. I usually do about one of these videos a month for my favorite songs by a band, so you can look forward to that one next month. But for right now, we're going with the winner, and that is Deicide. So, top 15 favorite Deicide songs. This is very hard to narrow down. They have a very lengthy discography. To be honest, I'm not really including anything from their most recent few albums. While I do still enjoy them, I don't think they quite stack up to the old material. Really, I could fill this whole top 15 with just songs from like the first 4 albums. I didn't do that. I have sprinkled in a few from throughout the rest of their discography. But really, yeah, to me, their peak period was their first 4 albums. Absolutely amazing stuff. As you see, I got the poster of the debut down there. Just absolute classic in death metal. One of the biggest names out there, especially in US death metal. Glenn Benton, the legend of himself. Just absolutely insane, satanic, hilarious lyrics. Like, I think they're funny. Anyways, you gotta take them with a grain of salt. But really just brutal death metal. Awesome stuff. Catchy songs too. Like, even though it's on the heavier side, maybe people aren't going to be into this style of death metal, but there's a lot of catchy melodies going on as well, and catchy choruses that you'll be singing along to also. So let's get into this without further ado. Coming in at number 15, I'm going with the title track off of The Stench of Redemption. So for a later album, although at this point it's not that later in their career, but I guess they're mid-period, this one actually saw Jack Owen from Cannibal Corpse join the fold. This was after the Hoffman brothers were no longer in the band, and this album is absolutely amazing, and this title track is one of my favorites from that album. The technicality on the guitar playing really stepped up a notch here. Just really in-your-face aggressive stuff, but with such great guitar melodies. Absolutely awesome. Had to be on my list. Up next at number 14, I'm going with Fuck Your God from Scars of the Crucifix. So this album as a whole is a little bit uneven in my opinion, but this song is pretty stand out and funny. I can't like help but like have a smile on my face when it goes to the chorus. Fuck your God. Like, fucking awesome stuff. Glenn Benton is just one of the best death metal vocalists out there in terms of how to layer a low guttural with a higher pitched vocal and the way it blends together. Really mastered the craft of doing that. I know that's probably a turnoff for some people, but I think it really works, especially on these later albums, how he did that. And yeah, Fuck Your God, probably my favorite song off of Scars of the Crucifix. Now let's go a little more old school for number 13 with They Are the Children of the Underworld from the Once Upon a Cross album. One of my favorite tracks off this album. This was their 3rd full-length album. One of their best, if not their best. It's very tough. Depends on the day, but this is right up there. And just a catchy song, great guitar riffs, pounding drums. Like Steve Asham's drumming throughout their whole career has been top-notch. Really underrated drummer, in my opinion. I don't think he gets enough love when people talking about like best death metal drummers. Steve Asham kind of gets overlooked, but he can blast with the best of them. Absolutely awesome song here. Up next at number 12, let's go back to the Stench of Redemption album with Homage for Satan. It's actually had a music video for this one, which is kind of cool. And just a really catchy riff here, catchy chorus once again that you can sing along to, which is not always a thing in death metal, but Glenn Benton's vocals are actually decipherable. You can understand what he's saying, and it's a great track. Up next at number 11, I'm going with the opening track off of the Incinerate Him album, which is Bible Basher. Easily my favorite track off that album. This is another album as a whole is a little bit different, maybe not as stellar as some of the older stuff, but Bible Basher, absolutely great opener. That is another hilarious title that's so fun to sing along to, and just fucking great. Bible Basher, Bible Basher, Bible Basher. Who is your God? It's fucking awesome. Let's go now to number 10, my favorite song off the Stench of Redemption. I know it seems like I'm talking about this album a lot, but this is the last one in at number 10, is Crucified for the Innocents. Maybe a more of an underrated track in Deicide's discography, but I absolutely love this one. The guitar riffs and melodies in this song put it a step above everything else on this album. Just killer stuff, just cracking the top 10. Up next at number 9, let's go to their sophomore album, Legion, with Revocate the Agitator. Revocate the Agitator, Revocate the Agitator, Revocate the Agitator. Just fucking awesome stuff here. I'm saying these words over and over. Awesome, amazing, but whatever. I get carried away here. Just a great fucking song. Absolute death metal classic. Up next at number 8, let's go to the title track from Serpents of the Light. Absolutely amazing. This is probably, in my opinion, their catchiest album in terms of the hooks, like with the guitar and the vocal lines as well. Just really awesome stuff. This is arguably my favorite Deicide album. When I did my ranking, I did have this at number 1. It kind of changes on the day, like the first 4 albums. Absolutely amazing. But Serpents of the Light just brought the catchiness up a notch. And the hooks just stick in your head, and this song is no exception. There's going to be more from this album coming up. But yeah, the title track, absolutely stand out. Let's go back to the Legion album next for number 7 with In Hell I Burn. Another one was an absolutely catchy chorus. It's just infectious, gonna stick in your head. Absolutely great, heavy pounding riffs. Just an all-time death metal classic. If you talk about Deicide, you're gonna talk about In Hell I Burn, because it is just a classic fucking song. Speaking of classic fucking songs, let's go to the debut with Sacrificial Suicide. Oh man, one of the best off their self-titled album. Just absolutely amazing. There's going to be more from this album coming up too, but oh, come on. How can this not be on here? I could have almost put this whole album on here. I think I only ended up putting 2 or 3 songs from... I tried not to put more than 3 songs from each album, just to space it out and get a little bit of variation here, but really the whole debut and all of Legion could have just peppered this top 15. But yeah, Sacrificial Suicide, all-time death metal classic. Almost making my top 5, but in at number 6 is pretty good when they have this many amazing songs. Now let's get into that top 5. My personal top 5 favorite Deicide songs. So now let's go back to the Once Upon a Cross album with the title track, Once Upon the Cross. Absolutely amazing stuff here. They just really know how to write a chorus here for death metal. Not too many bands can do it as well as Deicide, especially with their older material here. Like, choruses that are going to stick in your head, that you're going to be shouting along to, and just really killer stuff. And that's why it is in at number 5. Up next at number 4, let's go back to the Serpents of the Light album with Blame It on God. Come on, how can that not be here? So fucking catchy and amazing. Blame it on God. Blame it on God. Blame it on God. Liar. This is fucking amazing. Absolutely love this. Love this whole album. This is easily one of my favorites on there. Up next on number 3, let's go back to the Legion album with arguably my favorite track on that album, Satan Spawned the Cacodemon. Just listen to that chorus and Glenn Benton singing here and you will get the biggest smile on your face. He says it so fast. Satan Spawned the Cacodemon! Satan Spawned the Cacodemon! Just fucking awesome. I can't help but even laugh as I scream it because it's just that good. Absolutely love it. Probably my favorite track on Legion, but the album as a whole could have all been here. Like I said, it's just amazing. Hard to pick favorites, but yeah, for right now, that one's in at number 3. For number 2, let's go back to the Serpents of the Light album with my favorite track on there, Slave to the Cross. Another one with just absolutely amazing vocal lines. Slave to the cross. 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 Just fuck. Oh man. Absolutely awesome stuff here. Easily in my top 5, in at number 2. But that just leaves one song. My favorite Deicide song is an all-time classic going back to the debut album, of course, with possibly their most well-known song. I don't know, that's hard to say, but my favorite, Dead by Dawn. Come on, all-time death metal classic. If I was making like a top 50 death metal songs list, Dead by Dawn would most certainly be in there. Possibly, well, I'm saying possibly my favorite Deicide song. I'm putting it at number 1. So for right now, it is my favorite Deicide song. Like I said, it's always hard with these lists. Day to day, it could change. But Dead by Dawn, absolutely amazing death metal track. For right now, my favorite Deicide song. So anyways, once again, these are just my opinions as usual. Just like to have a little bit of fun here. If you haven't heard Deicide before, go check out all these songs. Go check out their whole discography. But also, let me know down below what your favorite tracks by these guys are. What did you think of this list? Always love to get some conversations going. And yeah, let me know why your favorites are your favorites. So anyways, until next time, Hammerheart Metal Reviews, out!